Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, no, I haven't put the fluid yet, that's gonna be next. But today is Friday and I'm working nights for the next few days. And it's weekend, and I just want to make sure if I need any parts I can order them today so I get them ready for next week. So that's why I'm not going to do that just yet. We're going to try to tackle the next problem, which, as you probably have seen from the other video, for the PATS fluid, which is PATS fluid. I think it's PATS fluid. So there is a ESP and ABS light on this car. Let me actually start the car. So we have the engine light, obviously. Well, I think I'll show you at some point that light off. Anyway, so I hope it makes sense how I'm doing this, but so you guys don't get confused. So this video, guys, is for the ABS and ESP light. So let's gonna scan the car and see what is in there. Even though if you watch the other video, which most likely is going to be first, you know why those lights are on. So those lights are on, guys, because of the following code: C0020 1C-2B. So ABS, anti-lock braking system, pump motor control. Pump motor control. So one thing that I've done, I think I need to have, I've done it earlier and I'm going to do it now again. Let me come back. Active tests. Let me get some live data. Okay, so I believe this, it doesn't allow you to do nothing. So I believe this is coming up because there is a fault in there for the motor. So obviously it's not going to allow you to activate the motor. If I erase the code, let me try, I haven't tried actually. Okay, so looks like this is a hard code. Let me do erase codes. Okay, successfully erased. Let me cycle the ignition. Still have the same lights. Let's press OK. Read codes. So as you can see, I still have the two lights on. Okay, so this is a hard code. It's not going your way. Let's gonna do a quick test. Right, problem solved. Came in, clear the codes, problem solved. Now, am I going to leave it like this? Well, let me speak with the owner. I know it's going to be a matter of time until this fails again. So it will be up to the owner. I'll have to speak with him, but it's up to the owner. So most likely, guys, what's going on here is the brushes on the electric motor were stuck, or they are getting low and they start to get stuck, and that sort of vibration just made them to move against the motor again and allow the motor to work again. So I don't know. I will speak with the owner, see what he wants to do, and I guess I will let you know. But just before we do that, I just thought, why we don't test the pump now. So I came into the same menu I've just showed you earlier. So now it tells you the pump is off. Obviously the code is no longer there, so it allows you to do this actuator test. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. Let me just do it once so see if you can hear it. I'm gonna put the camera at the front. Oh, I forgot this is Bluetooth. Right, so the pump is right there. Let me start it. Done. Only went once. Why? Did the fault come back? Haha, it came back again. There we go. There we go. So indeed, he's gonna have to. Right. There's no point to speak with the owner. The fault just came back. So I managed to run it a few times, and the fault came back on. So 100%, this is going to be the motor. I could hammer it again. It's probably going to work another couple times, and then it's going to fail again. So indeed, it's going to need a new motor. Now, looking through there, looks like this is the motors that are crimped in there. So I'll love to see how we're going to do this. I'll have to speak with the owner, see what he wants to do. Okay, so I spoke with the owner. By the way, I've just finished refilling the. I just finished the other video, which most likely you have watched it. Anyway, I spoke with the owner. I obviously explained the options he had. Either brand new unit, which probably will cost more than the car. Obviously, we talked about second-hand units. The risk is quite high to get into the same problem, unless I could get a unit from a low mileage car, maybe. But some of the units for sale, at least the ones I found on eBay, etc., they don't really tell you the mileage of the car, where it came from. So the guy is keen to get these repaired and have no more problems with this. So I decided a different approach, and what we're going to do is we're going to repair this pump, or refurbish this pump. How, you might ask? Well, I could get the brushes and all that stuff for the motor, which, yes, would be a little bit cheaper. I decided to actually go and buy a new motor. Oh, damn it, I forgot to unpack this. Hold on. Okay, so that's better. So the manufacturing date on this one is actually September 2012, as you can see. So I'm not 100% sure if this is a brand new motor or a remanufactured motor. Either way, is all done, ready to fit. As I said, this is the crimped motor. Some are screwed in. This is the one crimped in the corners. There is two ways of fixing this. Once I have the pump out, I will show you. The one I'm going to use is probably, I don't know, I'm going to use, hold on a minute, let's going to take the pump out. So I will show as I go along. So this comes with this, comes with what else? Comes with some blocking caps, etc., for the pipes and all that stuff. Obviously we'll have to bleed the brakes at the end, but hopefully this will give this pump plenty of years of life again. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the pump. We need to take the battery and all that stuff. The pump, luckily, is quite accessible behind the battery, so it's not too difficult to get to. So yeah, let's gonna do it. I will take you a little bit through, possibly, maybe, I don't know, it's not rocket science, just a few bolts and that's it. But let's gonna proceed now. Okay, all removed, and here is my unit right behind the battery, as I said. So to remove the unit, obviously you need to remove all the brake lines. Then there is one bolt right here to the bracket. You take these off and you slide it that way, and it comes out of these sort of pins here. Slide it this way, and then you should just rotate, twist, and come out. Obviously you need to take the plug as well, but the electrical connector. That's what we're going to do. Let's going to pull this out and replace that motor. And the unit is out, as you can see. I ended up by actually taking the three hoses that goes in there, the three pipes. It was easier to do this way. Two of the pipes actually came with the pump, which I'll show you in a minute. It was easy to do that way because you had really no room to unscrew all four here at the top of the unit. So it was easier this way. But once you take that out, it's quite straightforward. We clean that with a little bit of brake cleaner, so we don't leave the oil on the paint. And now let's gonna go to the unit and I'll show you what we're gonna do next. So as I said, the unit came out with 2 hoses still attached to it. What we're going to do, I'll give it just a little bit of cleaning. Now the way we're going to have to take these off is by cutting these little notches here that have been pressed over these little tabs here to keep everything down. So we're going to cut them down. I'm going to try to cut only 2. I will explain to you why. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll do our best, and once that's done we're going to proceed. I'm going to try to, you can do these whichever way you find better, but I'm going to try to just cut them off and go from there. Okay, so all corners have been cut off. I thought I could get away with cutting only 2 and then just swivel it a little bit, but it doesn't really work, so I ended up cutting all. So all I've done was with one of this, just in the top, just and cut it off. Now we're going to try to lift this and remove the motor. There he comes. There we go. Okay, and this is really frustrating. Let me explain you why. So I've opened the motor, as you can see. Now, before you ask how you take these off. So when this is inside, I'm not going to put it again, but once this is there, with 2 screwdrivers, you just put it like this. So let me bring it here. So you just do like this on this little ledge in there. Yes, you risk to break it a little bit, but it will come out. There's 2 tabs inside. One is actually still in there. Break it. You're going to break them because, oops, because there is no way how you're going to push them in, so they will break. But if you want to reuse the motor, once this is all in place, you can always glue a little bit, and then with the seal and everything compressed, these will never come out. But the frustration is, these brushes are actually nearly brand new. I don't know how good it's going to come out on the camera. Look at that. So look how much brush is still left on both sides. Now the problem is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see there. See if I can show you this somehow. Probably. Hold on. Look at that. That brush in there. Can you see the brush moving back and forwards as I push it? Can you see there the flex here at the back moving? Now let me go on the other brush and you're going to see what is happening on the other brush. So this is the other brush. The other brush is stuck. So when I pull the rotor away from the brush doesn't follow it. It's absolutely stuck, and actually when I try to push it forward, it doesn't move. So it moves, but it stays exactly where I leave it. So you can see, let me see if I show you this. So I'm going to pull it forward. So look at the brush in there. So I'm going to push it back. I'm going to go forward, and as you're going to see, it comes forward, but look at the gap at the front. You see right there at the bottom, is not following, is not coming to touch the rotor. So this brush is stuck. I'm going to try to do something about it and reuse this motor in the future, but that's just what happened. There's a brush that got stuck. This is a manufacturing fault in my opinion, because it shouldn't do this. The brush should just carry on following. There's so much brush left. Okay, anyway, let's gonna move forward. I'm not gonna put this one obviously because I have a replacement. So what I'm gonna do now is I've started to clean already, but we're gonna clean it a little bit more, and then I'll show you how we're gonna secure the new motor. Okay, so I've cleaned all of it. Make sure you get rid of any oil, any grease, obviously. Everything cleaned. I've used diluent for this. You can use any other chemical you feel like is going to do the job, but that's what I've used. All cleaned. Also, I've used sandpaper to make these two areas here as rough as possible. I think you know already how I'm going to secure these back in. So this is just to give more adherence to the resin, which is how I'm going to secure this motor back in. Now there is different ways of securing these motors. You have actually a bracket. There's a system that there is a bracket that you drill then 2 holes on each end, and there's a bracket that goes over it and screws in. That's good if you ever need to change this motor again, but let's face it, if this lasts another 10 or 11 years, probably is more than the car will ever last. So you can do it that way. I'm gonna try to see if I find a picture of that bracket system somewhere, and I'll just put it here somewhere. I'm going to do it differently, and I will take you through the process obviously. But so the first thing I've done, yes, is clean everything, get rid of any grease, and roughen these areas here to give more adherence to the resin. Okay, so we did that. Put a little bit new grease on there, and we're gonna just slide these back in, and then we'll carry on. Okay, and it's now ready for us to carry on. Why do I have this clamp here? You need this clamp to put a little bit of pressure between the motor and the block in order to compress the seal. If you don't put pressure on the seal, you risk to leave gaps which will allow moisture. We all know what moisture does to things. Why I've used this piece of wood underneath? Because, see if I show you, if you put, in my case, my clamp, if I put this clamp in the middle of the cover, it will push the cover in and I would risk to break it. So I put this piece of wood from corner to corner, which means the pressure now, majority of the pressure is going to be in these 2 corners, which are way much stronger. So this way, as you can see, there's literally no gap in there. So now we are going to get the resin ready, and we'll put it in there to secure the motor, but I will show you how that's going to be done. Okay, no publicity here. I'm using this type of resin. You might have something else of your preference, completely up to you. I'm going to use this. Is a 5-minute working time with, I believe, 1 hour handling time, full strength in 2 hours, which means in 2 hours time I should be able to start to put everything back on without risking the motor to fall off. So, but I still have a few more hours still. It's only about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, so I still have plenty of time. So let's kind of mixture this. This is half in my case. So we're just going to mixture this and then just fill this here, and obviously fill the other side as well. So I've used this tape to sort of build a wall in here to hold the resin inside, and we're just going to fill all the way up to the level tape, to the level of the tape. Bloody hell. Okay, so hopefully it makes sense. Okay, and this is the old motor. Is now here running for 10 minutes. So what I've done is at the top where the brush is and the wire comes out of the top, there's a slot. So I put a screwdriver at the top and I twisted it to open the entire sort of runner where the brush is. It's been running absolutely perfect. I've started and stopped it at the start a few times, then I left it running here now for about 10 minutes and it's still running. I'm quite confident now that I could have put the same motor back in, but I didn't know that until I opened it. So yeah, at least let's say I have now a spare motor. If I ever need another one, I know where to get it. Right, so I'm going to show you now the hand result of the other pump. Obviously it's still setting, so I can't touch it, but let me show you. There is the hand result. I know I touched the motor a little bit. I've cleaned it as good as possible. I don't know yet if I'm going to or not, but I might spray a little bit of black paint over this. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it. There is the other. Come on. The other side. I put it all the way around, as you can see. All the way around. That's it. Let's let it settle. And in a couple of hours we should be able to start to put everything back on. 4 o'clock. This has been here on the sun. Is proper. Well, I'm not gonna say it's 100% cured, but it's quite hard. I have a feeling it's not gonna come out now. So we're gonna take the clamp off and start to put everything back on. And there he is, guys. Oh, sorry about that. Ready to go back in. So let's gonna put the pump back in and then bleed the brakes. Okay, all done, all in place. Now, obviously we still need to bleed the brakes, but I think for now it's time to, oh dear, to come here and start this thing. And hopefully will be no fault codes, I guess. There we go. Okay, so I have my ABS light on, most likely some codes in there. Let's gonna clear those codes. Let me just cycle again. Okay, let's gonna clear those codes and should be it. Okay, and I do apologize for the glare, so obviously we still have this code in here. Let's gonna turn it off. Ignition on. Let's start with, let me turn these off. So let's go back. Let's erase the codes. That's it. Let's come out. Cycle the ignition. Back on. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit soft. We're gonna have to bleed the brakes, obviously. But that's it, guys. That's it by the looks of it. Let me just see if there is any procedure for this to bleed the brakes. Just in case if there is. Maybe active tests. I don't think there was, or it was. No. Okay. Let's go back. I'm not gonna activate the motor. There's no point. You saw the motor running. Let me see, just see if there is any procedure to bleed the brakes. If there is that going to be power chassis probably? No, there's only sensor initializations, not functions. No, there isn't, so this is just the old school bleeding. So let's kind of get it bleeded so I can go for a quick road test to wrap up this video. Alright guys, just got back home, just been putting the cars all back in this way. The guys not pick up the car this weekend. Today is Friday. The guy said he will come on Monday, so I just put the car where he was. But went for a drive, as you can see, no lights, no nothing, everything is good. The car drove absolutely perfect, brakes okay, ABS kicks in, ESP don't know, but I'll guess he will kick in as well. So in the end guys, just that motor that we got sorted. I didn't took the phone with me unfortunately because I ran out of battery and I just left it at home charging. But I just went on those back roads that you guys all know I usually do go. So yeah, it's all good, no lights. So let me show you that all the lights comes on. So as you can see in there, there we go. Fault free, absolutely fault free. So guys, with no further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you can find useful. Hopefully you now know you can actually replace the motor or even the brushes in the case if it's the brushes. As again, the other motor is already working, but hey, I couldn't guess that. Anyway, with no further ado, hope there's some information here you can find useful. Hope you learned something. If you do have any questions, any comments, put them below. And like always, thank you for watching.